And soon the father, who's the seventh father in the house, and this was collected by Osbjörnsson and Moore, drawings by Vincent Slettebu. There was once a man who was out traveling. And after a long time, he came to a big, beautiful farm. It was so fancy that he almost thought it was a castle. This would be a good place to rest a while, he said, and he said to himself, and he when he came inside the fence, right near there was an old man with gray hair and an axe chopping wood. "Good evening," said the traveler. "Could I stay overnight? I'm not the father in the house," the old man said. "Go in the kitchen and talk to my father." The traveler went into the kitchen, and there he met a man who was even older, and he was down on his knees in front of the fireplace, blowing on the fire. "Good evening, Father. Can I stay overnight here?" the traveler said. "I'm not the father in the house," said the old man. "Go in and ask for my father. He's sitting by the table in the living room." So the traveler went in and talked to the one that was sitting by the table. He was much older than both of the other two, and he sat with his teeth chattering and shaking and shivering and reading a big book, almost like he was a little kid. "Good evening, Father. Will you let me stay here overnight?" said the man. "I'm not the father in the house, but talk to my father. That's sitting on the bench," said the man. And so the traveler went into the man that was sitting on the bench, and he was trying to fill up a pipe of tobacco, but he was so shriveled up and he shook so bad in his hands that he almost couldn't do it, couldn't hold on to the pipe. "Good evening, Father," said the traveler again. "Can I stay overnight here?" "I'm not the father in the house," said the old man, "but talk to my father, who's lying in the bed." The traveler went to the bed, and there lay an old man, in which there wasn't anything living to see but his big eyes. "Good evening, Father. Can I get to stay overnight here?" said the traveler. "I'm not the father in the house, but talk to my father, who's lying in the cradle," said the old man with the big eyes. Well, the traveler went to the cradle, and there lay an ancient fellow, so shriveled up that he wasn't bigger than a little baby, and he couldn't tell that he was alive, except that you could see him breathing once in a while. "Good evening, Father. Can I stay overnight here?" "Tonight," said the man. it was a long time before he got an answer, and even longer before the man was finished with that. He said, he, like the other ones, that he wasn't the father in the house. But talk to my father, he's hanging in the horn on the wall. The traveler looked up over the walls, and finally he found his eye lit on the horn. But when he looked for the one that was hanging in it, there wasn't anything more to see than a likeness of a man's face, and he was so scared that he hollered loudly, "Good evening, Father. Will you let me stay here overnight?" There was a little whistle in the horn, like a little bird, a little chirping. It was no more than you could barely hear that there was somebody said, "Yes, my child." Now there came in a table which was covered with the fanciest food and drink, and when he had eaten and drunk, there came in a bed with reindeer calf fur, and the traveler was glad enough that he finally had found the right father in the house.